Hey, they're coming out with some shit tomorrow. No, 2 days.
Listen,
2
they've
days.
been dropping short
Yeah.
stories like what, like 2 a week at this point for a bit now.
Here, wait. Before we get too far away from the topic of food, Mega, is there a Waffle House where you go to school?
No,
Ah, shit. I was
we're
gonna say,
that rural. We don't even have a Waffle House.
fuck, do you not have a Waffle House where you are? That's the funniest fucking index in the world because it's a real index, the fucking Waffle House Index.
Mm.
Yeah, no. If Waffle House is closed, that means death is outside. You have to stay away.
Like they
Like,
have a specific menu for like, hey, we're running on limited power. Here's our menu. it's the wildest fucking thing in the world. Like like
Crazy.
it could be a category 3 hurricane like hitting somewhere. If Waffle House is open, they are saying, "Hey, it's not going to be that bad."
Well, it's gonna be somewhat bad.
Waffle House closed, fuck it. Apocalypse, just run.
did,
Run from the area as far as you can go.
did the dude in charge of Tekken ever actually confirm if he was going to be able to make a Waffle House stage?
Fucking people have
Because I know
modded
he
it.
talked about it.
People have definitely
I have
modded
no
it.
idea. That's out of my reach. I have no idea.
I hope so.
Hunter, you ever been to a Waffle House?
Oh, plenty of times. Plenty.
What's your
I
go-to?
live in Ohio. What else am I supposed to do?
I've never been to a Waffle House, so
Live in
That's interesting.
You live in Toledo? Oh, eat glass?
We do have a lot of glass.
Toledo's literally the glass city.
Yeah, it is the glass city. It's the one thing we've got, and it's not even much, to be honest with you.
I mean, it's at least a half decent nickname.
I mean, yeah, but I maybe I'd like to be the I don't know, the croissant city, huh? Think about that for once.
Yeah, but that
What
would
about
probably
the Big
I
Apple?
could just eat croissants every day.
Hunter,
It'd
but
be the best
that would
croissants in
probably
the
mean you'd
world.
be French.
I mean, you don't have to be. You don't have to be French.
I think you have to be.
Gotta have to be.
Have to be. This is
Yes.
absurd.
I mean, it's like in their blood or something. I don't know. We are going based on how we
Blood?
ended last week's episode, where we kind of shitted on the British jokingly.
Yeah, but to be fair, they get enough hate, but they still should get more anyway.
The British or the French?
Oh, yes.
Both.
Both.
True.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I like 2 British people and probably 1 French person. Good luck with that.
Who are
You
your
know,
two? Who are
British
your 2 British people?
It's the only 2 British people I know.
You probably know more British people. You just don't know they're British.
I definitely know. Yeah. Well, now if I actually say my words, now someone is actually going to kill me. So I'm
Hey,
just going to
Oh,
quadruple
do
down on
tell.
this one.
You tell who's gonna kill you. I want to know who's gonna kill you.
Well, actually, to be fair, I could just not leave Inspec's name because there's no way that man's going across the water to hunt me down.
Yeah, we've clarified this last week, and he has said it himself multiple times. He will never step foot in this country unless he's being paid.
Cheers for that.
And Hunter, I think if he did step foot in this country, I think the last place he would go would be Ohio.
I don't know. It wouldn't be the. I don't know if it'd be the last place he'd go.
It would be up there.
Yeah, but it's not the worst place to be in the States.
Oh no, it's absolutely not. But it's definitely, yeah,
It's just average, honestly, like low key.
not called the Midwest for a reason.
Perfect. Cool.
Well, how about we get started with this podcast? Welcome back, everyone, to episode 52 of the podcast. Zay, stop trying to eat the pencil. Welcome back to episode 52 of For the Love of Prod. As always, I am joined by Huntertain and Megalass, and our guest this week is Spookey. Spookey, man, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Hey, we're looking forward to have you on, like we kind of already mentioned. So happy that it was able to work out for you to come on this week.
Yeah, perfect.
So before we get into our normal 2 questions here, I want to give you the chance to kind of give a quick introduction of yourself. And basically all I really want you to do with this is like tell us what games you work in and tell us what roles you normally do.
Yeah. Well, I'm Spooky, right? Like I've been around in the BPL sphere, so if you know me, that's where I came from, and that's really where I am. I haven't really touched anywhere else, and I don't really want to, right? So Overwatch is probably my main game. I still play Overwatch to this day. I played in BPL for 5 years now, and it's still going. One of, like, 14 people who've played in every main event, so you keep that going, but, that led me to actually observing Overwatch and, branched out to actually observing Marvel Rivals as well with that.
So you're one of 14 people left from the original season of BPL.
Well, the one of 14 people that played in every event.
that should
There's still
entitle,
some originals,
it
but
should entitle you to, like, that veterans discount.
yeah, I think I got that, to be honest. They kind of forced me to be in a higher role at this point.
What does the veterans discount get you?
Uh, Being able to ban people, maybe ping everyone. I did ping like 400 people last night, like 2 nights ago, so that did go well. But yeah, that's that's what veterans discount get me.
Is that too much power? It,
Yes.
too much power
Yes,
in
it
your
is.
hands, or is too much power in general?
Um, yes. Yes. The answer is yes.
Hunter, Mega, what would you guys do at that level of power?
I can give you I could hang on. I'll just ping everyone right now. Hold on.
Yeah, it's a good idea actually. Let's do a live example.
Yeah,
Add
ping everyone.
everyone. I'm not going to just because Dex would actually get upset, but like I would just ping and then send some sort of stupid GIF.
Yeah, do it in any other server, not this one, please.
Any other server, you say?
Any other
Any other
server.
server.
Oh,
Go add everyone in the Kinetic server. That's an easy one.
Oh, I was gonna say Headrummer still has me with perms in CGL. Hold on.
technically,
Oh Lord.
technically, I have perms in CGL, but the only perms I have is to make
We're about to
memes.
watch. We're about to watch my perms get revoked in real times. Add everyone.
Oh no.
Create an event.
Oh, I can't add everyone. Never mind.
Good.
Oh.
Oh, there's a server tag.
Good.
Where's our server tag at, huh?
I have to pay for that.
Okay, well that sounds like a small price to pay.
I think I'm
It's
one
like
of the only.
it's like 3 boosts. It's 3 boosts.
Yeah, I'm.
That's
I like this
one
server a
person.
lot. I don't like this server 3 boost a lot. There's not enough people and not enough people talking in it to necessarily require that anyway. I think I'm one of the only people in CGL to have the role gatekeeper of emotes.
Emotes. Jeez. Oh, we did acquire the new one. Well, it's the newish one.
It's only in this server though.
Yeah, but it's
I
still
don't-
a
I'm
really
not-
good one.
Yeah, I'm not throwing it into CGL.
Perfect.
I'm confused.
Yeah, Hunter just used. But I mean, so you've been around BPL basically since the start, and we'll talk about that a little bit more down the line, I imagine here.
Yeah.
But right now, I want to just we're gonna get into the normal part of the podcast here before we eventually spiral out of control, like
I'm very good at that.
I would say always do. But granted, Hunter and Mega, we haven't spiraled lately, which has been a weird thing.
Yeah, not to our usual extent. No, we've definitely had some times where we've gone off topic, but it hasn't gone to the point where it's like, man, what are we doing anymore? What's our life?
Almost like the person who spirals has been clinically depressed and also terrified because I don't know the people you're bringing in, so I just shut the fuck up. Curious.
You know, Spooky enough, so
I probably know Megalass the
Unfortunately,
most out of everyone here, so it's
Yeah.
gonna
Fair
work very
enough.
well.
all
There you
right.
go.
this will be great.
But Spooky, I want to know what got you into esports, and more specifically, what got you into doing the production side of esports.
Um, is it bad to say like they just needed help?
No.
BPL kind of like I'm originally like an events team member, which means it's comp ops. So you deal with like situations of like, oh, is this person cheating or this person smurfing or this person doing that, setting the rules, looking at rule books, right? That was my role, and then I got that role because it needed. So like people it just kept coming, right? Like I didn't ask for it, they just kept asking. Um, like I was known as like the C League guy, so this is the lower rank leagues, right? I was known as the lower rank
Or I
guy,
would
and
be.
um the C League Union. I bet you've definitely heard of that. and I was basically a big contributor in that. And the C League matches never got scheduled. So who did the scheduling? A non-admin did the scheduling and did everything for C League. And that's basically how I got the role for the admin for side of stuff. And then observing came after that, which is basically all right. Let's just hang out now with people that are also just in like an admin sphere. And I sat down and just learned it from there. And now I'm just on a roller coaster of see where it takes me. I'm not really looking for things. It just comes and it's like, all right, now I can do this, I guess. So that's where I really am.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's you said it's like because you got him because you BPL needed help. I think Hunter and Mega both were kind of that same way, where it's like, hey, they needed help with it. I think I could basically say like I got into CGL. I didn't get into BPL because they needed help. I got into BPL because I basically begged Knock to let me in. But like I got into CGL because they needed help one day and someone brought me in. But we've talked about a lot in the past where Hunter, I think, said like he started casting. It was BPL, right? And because they need help, then you took a little bit of a break, or was it C? I'm forgetting.
No,
Here.
it was CGL I did for
Okay.
a while, then took a break, and then kind of came back to like everything in the span of about 6 months, and realized, oh, I'm in too many servers now. I need to chill out a little bit, and I proceeded to not chill out at all.
And Mega, you were also like this league just needed help, right?
Yes and no. It was more so because, like, obviously my casting was like I started way before BPL with like Rose Cup and stuff like that. But it was actually because of playing in BPL that basically after I imploded my team, I just was like, well, shit, I need something to do. I mean, like, y'all need casters? Like, what's up? And then they were just like, yeah, sure. And that pretty much just went from there.
The team of destiny, by the way. Everyone still talks about it.
Listen,
Oh,
everybody on that team has improved in meaningful ways, okay? If you were
You
on
got
Brazil
you got
Uprising, your life is better now.
Is this
Oh my
Brazil
God.
uprising?
you got Mark into observing, and now he's just the GOAT. So it's like
Yes, I made Mark's life so miserable on a team. He never wanted to do it again. He was like, nah, just get me behind a camera. I don't want to do it no more.
that guy's the
Oh,
GOAT at EU observing, and it was because of you.
yeah. So he owes me like a 5% royalty of everything he makes, just so
Yeah,
we
of
know.
course.
True, yeah.
Here, you should reach out to Mark right now and see if he'll accept those terms.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. And I'm pretty sure the message I'll get back is "fuck off," but you know it'll be fine.
Fair
No,
enough.
I wouldn't even get that. Mark is too nice. Mark is actually just a nice human being.
Yes, super quiet and just chill.
Mega, are we gonna have that same effect this season on the zebras?
No comment.
Fair
Here's
enough.
hoping, you know?
Fair enough. We're probably already starting 0-1 though.
Why are we
No,
starting on
probably
one?
Because-
not. Actually, I do need to talk to Solo about that,
Because
actually.
I think literally the only day anyone can play is tomorrow, but no one, the other team said no.
Well, they said Thursday as well, which I think we might be able to get away with if we do it early enough.
Yeah. But like, I feel like a lot of people, how they got into doing stuff within esports, especially on the prod side, is mostly because like, hey, someone needed help somewhere. They're already along or already doing something. Like it. I don't know if I fall into that because when I first got started with esports casting, it was with my college team who was just starting up at the time, and I mean the whole story again is in short terms is I tried out, I sucked, realized I sucked, just wanted to be a part of the program, and the program director just said, "Do you want to just cast?" I was like, "Sure," and I never looked back.
Yeah, I feel like because it's just a community, right? You want to keep that community going. I'm a big believer in like, look, it actually means something to be a part of this community, and like, you just got to keep going with it. And any way you can help out is like amazing to me. So that's really it.
Yeah, and I mean BPL, CGL, SPCS, and some of the other community leagues out there do have some incredible community. We have really talked about that a lot in the past, as well with other guests. But it's like, again, I don't necessarily dig a lot into the communities. I don't necessarily talk a lot or in them a lot, but so I don't necessarily know how often there's bad shit that goes on. But I never hear that much about it. It's always like, hey, yeah, like there's a lot of good stuff going on. There's so much, like everyone's trying to do so many things, and I think, and I might be dead wrong with this, but BPL is definitely probably one of the better communities out there when it comes to these community leagues.
Yeah, a great example is like I see so many Discord servers that have like 50 plus people in it, and they all know each other just because of a community like this, right? Like, oh, I went like a good example is like I'm going to BlizzCon with 9 people I've never seen before this September, and this is because of BPL, right? Like, so like that's exactly how it is. So it's like I met people in New York in 2021, in 2022, 2023, right? So like you meet these people online, it's like wow, it's like we actually built something, and now you're actually gonna get to like talk to them, and it's just like all these discords too that it's like oh these discords are huge of just because they're made for this, and it's cool to see so many friendships get built because of a community league.
Yeah, and it's like when I went to the last Owl Grand Finals in Toronto, I knew that there was gonna be people there that I knew, but like I'm a very like anxious person to reach out to say like, hey, are you going? I want to meet up. So it was all just like I met up with people by just chance, really. So walking around, I think day two or no, day one of grand finals in Toronto, I just ended up talking to a dude because he's wearing an Atlanta Thrashers jersey. And when I tell him my name's Dex, he says from Tranquility. I was like, holy shit, how does this fucker know me? And it's
Well,
like, sorry, go ahead.
no, no, no. You're bound to know someone in a community, right? Any like the bigger tournaments, you're bound to know someone who knows of that community.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it was like because of this one person, I met like 7 other people from Tranquility. Then I met like everyone who was there from BPL. So I eventually ran into Knock. I ran into a couple other people. Then I eventually found my way. Then I eventually found Headrammer because he was there. But I had already talked to him. It was just a thing where it was like I had no idea what the hell Headrammer looked like at the time. Eventually, I found him. Eventually, but it's like it was so cool actually meeting all those people, and then DreamHack Dallas the first year for OWCS. Like I stayed in the CGL house with like Headrammer, Hippie, Unfeatured, uh, Bullskunk, uh, Billy, a couple other people were there, but you know after the first day or after I think day two because the first day was a fucking nightmare of DreamHack Dallas. um like a lot of people came over, a lot of players, a lot of other people that I knew. It was just really cool to see all those people, and it's like yeah, we're there for this event, but again, meeting the people is always just probably the best
Oh
part
yeah.
about it.
Oh yeah.
But let's move on to the next part of the question. So we know what got you in. What keeps you coming back to doing all this? Because I mean, especially at this level where we're at, not everything's paid. There are some paid opportunities, but a lot of us are doing this because one, like you said, the community is great, or because we're doing this because we really enjoy doing what we do. So what keeps you
Yeah.
coming back?
I mean, I there's a reason why I do this Overwatch tourney every single year, and I observe it. I admin it. I play in it. I just want to be a part of this community. We talked about it so much, but I like to bring up that I've never made a single dollar off of Overwatch. I just haven't. I have never produced a paid gig for Overwatch, even though I mean observed. But I've done a million Overwatch maps, and I still haven't made a single dollar. So I mean, uh, it's crazy, but like it's just the community. I we talked about it so much. It basically we answered this question already. But yeah,
And I mean, the community, and especially just the people, I feel like it just boils down to that a lot when you're talking about the community. And that's probably been the most consistent answer that we get from a lot of our guests. And every time that is the answer, it's not like, at least in my opinion, I don't know about Mega and Hunter. Uh, it's just like I'm not mad about that answer because again, like the name of the podcast being what it is and what we do, especially in all the leagues we're in, and we're doing it for the love of it all. We're doing it because we love what we do. We love working with the people we with. But again, there's just so many incredible people out there.
oh yeah.
Hunter. Like, what do you guys normally think when when one of our guests answers why they keep coming back is just normally the people or the community?
Mm, it's just the common answer, right? Like us all being in this community. The reason why a lot of us stick around is partly from that camaraderie, because we don't just see each other for 2 hours a week casting a game or producing a game. We have people who obviously they do other things together. They play the game a lot as well. It's a lot more that happens behind the scenes I think some people realize, and just, hey, here's two random casters for CGL that have probably spent more time together than they have some of their family at this point in their lives, which is crazy to think about. Um, but it's the reality of it, and it doesn't get talked about enough. On this podcast, it gets talked about plenty, but outside of that, it feels like it's almost non-existent.
Almost like it's the point of this podcast. But
Yeah.
True.
um I mean, like, it truly is just like people are like, oh my goodness, talking about community again. But like realistically, like just being real for a second, we all know the public perception that Overwatch has as like a game, right? Everyone's hating immediately the second you hear Overwatch. The groans start happening. Everybody's sick and tired of it. But like, I feel as though that's sort of forged these communities to be even tighter than some other games, just because it's like we're just all in it together and just like doing exactly what we want to be doing, whether it's the smartest thing or whether we're $8 billion richer because of it, or just doing it for the love of the game. It's just, at the end of the day, this is where the friends are. So,
Now, I do have a question. I know there's a segment later for me to ask a question,
Oh no.
but I have a question now.
Okay.
Um, why do you guys do this podcast? Is it for just each other? Is it the community? Right? It's the same thing. So,
Mm.
like,
It's a
what's
good
the
I'll let
reason
question.
behind this podcast?
I'll let Hunter and Mega answer this question first.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
oh
Okay.
fuck. Um,
It's not
That's
about the money. So,
crazy.
like, okay, here's the thing: the original reason, which I still believe is the reason wholeheartedly, um, is that we like. There's so many people, casters, observers, producers. There's a billion things that make esports tick, that makes esports function, and you never get to hear the actual story from the people because we're always, we're background to the players, right? Nobody's going to be tuning in to listen to us talk. So this is kind of giving people a chance to tell those stories of just like, hey, why are you doing this if it is just completely volunteer and you've been here for 6 years? Like what actually is motivating you, and what are, the reasons you keep coming back and stuff like that.
yeah,
Mm,
I have a great point just to bring up. Like on Twitter, they just announced that I'm doing an event next week. On the Marvel Rivals uh Twitch account, and it's really cool. But the Twitter post was the casters and all the teams, and then the production
mm,
was the comment underneath it, right? It's you're not really
mm,
getting shown. You get the casters get shown, and then the production's like, "Oh, we're here, but we're like down below." You know what I mean? And
yeah.
stuff like that is pretty common.
Yeah, it is common, and that's part of why I like this a lot as well. Because even as casters, when we're either on the desk or whether we're finishing the show, sometimes the best thing we could do and is like, hey, thank you to our producer Hippie, and thanks for Orange for observing. That's sometimes the best thing we can do in that situation. And obviously, we can go on social media. We can like and share everything we possibly can. But this is a good opportunity to have all those people on and allow them to like, hey, this person you've seen, they've done this, this, and that. Here, come listen to them talk from 90 minutes to 2 hours. Enjoy yourself. Learn them as a person. And I think some people, apparently, there are some people actually that appreciate that and just learn more about the people that I feel like in most situations you wouldn't be able to learn about elsewise.
Yeah, I just love the huge catalog of everyone that you interview, right? It's so many different communities of it, right? So you have every single s- sphere of a community Overwatch journey, if it's even like Valorant or it's Marvel Rivals now, but like you touch every sphere of this podcast because someone that knows someone, and you're gonna get them eventually, right? So it's pretty cool.
Funny enough, like that's how we ended up getting Will English. because we had Joker on for an episode, and he retweeted out that he did it, and Will English just responded like, "Hey, this is really cool. I would love to be on this." And I was like, "Hey, fuck! I was gonna ask him way down the line, but fuck it, let's get him for episode 8," and we got him in, and because Will's done so many big events between, I think mostly just fighting games, but he's worked with ESPN, he's worked at Evos, he's worked at CEOs. Like he's done a lot of big shit, and like that was the episode that I felt the worst for Hunter and Mega, because it was just me asking Will a question, and Will would go for 5, 10, 15 minutes about it, and it's still one of my favorite episodes because you hear the passion that he has for esports and esports prod. But it's still one of those episodes where I sat there during it saying, I feel so bad for Hunter and Mega. They haven't said shit in an hour and they're just sitting here.
Yeah.
But no, my answer to the question is, and very much echoes what Mega said and what Hunter said. I mean, like the idea is always bring people on who have worked esports prod, because hey, us three as casters, you hear us a lot, you get to see our faces a lot, you get to know at least a little bit of what kind of drives us to do it a decent amount, but you don't necessarily get to know anything about anyone behind the scenes unless you really try to dig into it a little bit, and follow maybe any of those people on social media if they post, because a lot of people don't post it that much anymore, and I completely understand that. And it's like I said, it's a chance to tell us their story, why they love doing this, why they keep coming back, what they really like about it, and it's always fun for that reason. And granted, like there have definitely been some episodes where we have talked less about esports and more about other stuff. But I think at the end of the day, the three of us will probably say like those are really fun episodes, even though we kind of got away from like, hey, this is esports production. Yeah, but we want to give these people some chance to really show off
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your first question, again, normally don't get asked that early on in the podcast, and sometimes we don't even ask the guests. We don't even ask, or I don't even ask the guests if they have a question. Normally, I just do that to try to fill some time, but you had one ready to go. All right, but let's get back into it now. So, you've said you've done a lot, hundreds of Overwatch stuff for free. You're getting into Marvel Rivals now. You did the J3 tournament last. I know that,
Yep.
and it sounds like you're doing another one here soon. And this is a very interesting thing because I feel like just within the Overwatch and Rivals communities, there's a lot of maybe like playful, like us against them type thing, and then there's actually people who take it a little bit too serious. But like, and I've been very public about this. I really want Rivals esports to succeed because I think it actually gives Overwatch a challenge to step up to. But from your perspective, from what you do in the two games, what's the biggest difference between the two? This could either be gameplay or what you have to do in them, or really just the community, since you have dipped your toes into both.
I would say Overwatch esports production is leagues ahead of what the Marvel Rivals team is currently doing, and I'm a big believer in that. Like the Marvel Rivals, like no like real hate on Marvel Rivals production team, like the main team. It's they can grow so much and they can like expand on everything. I feel like Overwatch has figured out, like they're like probably have a really good production team. Obviously, some people have gone, and it used to be better, but uh, it's still like figured out. It's figured out. Marvel Rivals production has not been figured out. I don't think. Uh, I definitely think, not to toot my own horn, but like our team, I feel like we usually look at the Marvel Rivals production saying like they can actually like do so much more stuff with it, and then we try and expand on that. A big thing that we like our team tries to do is like pipping like all the Doctor Strange stuff, and that's like a huge like new thing that not a lot of people do, and that's what it is. Like, but like going back to it, Overwatch versus Marvel Rivals, I feel like Marvel Rivals is getting there, but it just needs to continue, and I don't see that though. But they need to improve.
Yeah, and like I think again, this Rivals is still very much in its infancy. Of one, it's esport, even though it's going into its second year, where you'll probably see a decent amount of improvements and just new stuff being added in to it. But it's still the new shiny thing here. So I think that's gonna be something that comes very, very quickly to it, where you're gonna see a lot of improvement very, very fast here from season 1 to season 2. But I gotta say, with what you guys did with the J3 tournament, and mostly because I know that was a Solomon white hat operation, and how much effort he puts into making the packages to make sure everything works very well. Like, they could take a lot from that and probably improve it almost immensely overnight. And the pipping stuff, that's something that's been very, very fun to see in CGL and BPL when we have it. And for anyone who doesn't know what pipping is, it's picture in picture, which is very fun, because sometimes in Overwatch, or at least from when we're doing BPL stuff, you'll have really interesting picture in pictures where it's like, hey, here's a fight going on, but someone's currently back capping the cart and no one notices. Or it'll be,
It's Ajax Watch,
yeah,
like
or it's
exactly like
Orange
that.
looking at a frog.
Yeah, that too.
But it's very interesting to see that. But like I I still just think Rivals. It's interesting to see where the esport is going, especially considering there's so much money behind it right now, and they are
Oh yeah.
getting.
Oh yeah.
They're going to probably end up getting some really, really good talent for that.
Yeah, the NetEase has been pouring so much money into Marvel Rivals, and they're trying to do monthly tournaments now, which, if they pick the right curators, then I might get the gig, but we don't know yet. It's still up in the air. There's still a bunch of prod teams out there, but we're hoping, but
I mean, I know Phase It does weekly tournaments, and technically the three of us here are winners of one. we
Oh,
we joined as we joined Hunter joined made a team of like 5 prod people. We joined like 2 minutes before the tournament started because there was one other team, and we were the only team that actually showed up, so we won by default.
now we're rich.
yeah.
Yeah,
Good job.
2,500 face it points richer, or 500 each.
Yeah, exactly. That's so much money. You get halfway to a spray with that. That's how rich we are.
Yeah, no, but it was really funny because it was after a Face It game that me and Hunter did, and I'm just sitting there, kind of just working on some other stuff, and Hunter's just like, there's a Face It weekly going on right now that starts soon. Let me just make the team, and then immediately 2 minutes later, there's like a ping from Headrammer and a ping from someone else saying, "Why did I just get an email that I'm about to play in a tournament?" Hey, you were there
Oh,
for that, right?
No, I was the first person to message about it.
yeah, this is true. Listen,
That was a
they called
fun
me
night.
crazy. They called me a
You were.
fool, but it worked.
Maybe.
But it worked.
Bro
Did it
needed to
not?
scummoz 500 face it points. Down horrendous.
We scammed 500 face it
We
points. Easy.
scammed ESL for 500 points.
Yeah. And now we get to give a bunch of those points away, Dex.
Yeah.
You excited?
Yeah. We'll talk about that later though.
That's understandable.
Maybe not even on this podcast, but yeah, we'll talk about that later.
That's also understandable.
Yeah, but
I think I know.
like here, going back to the whole difference between Rivals and Overwatch.
Yeah.
When you're here, let me ask you this: when you're observing, are you free cam or are you POV?
I am blue POV. For every single event, I am blue POV, and that's just it.
Are by choice, or you're in blue POV
No,
jail?
I am last. I was last choice, but I am a POV, so you know, I don't really dabble in third person.
Hmm.
You don't want me on third person, so
But in a game like Rivals, where the default is third person, what
yeah.
is that kind of like?
Um, I don't see it as an issue. I think it might be actually easier to tell the story as an observer, but there's so much going on the
Hmm.
screen anyway that you really can't tell the story the best way you want. But um, I don't see it as a huge change.
I mean, I have to agree with you. I think it is a little bit easier to be able to tell the story, or tell a story, or at least talk about stuff sometimes. Because when me and Hunter do Face It, we've talked about it a couple times where on this podcast already. Hunter is the person who's broadcasting the game, so he kind of has to be locked onto a or onto a POV perspective while the round's going on. But I'm also in the actual lobby. I'm in the game as well as a third person, just kind of floating about around in the sky. And I know, and because I've talked about a lot, there's been times where I'm talking about something that Hunter just didn't see because he was on a player, and I know it's like I'm talking about someone who's like half a mile away, and he's trying to hit the right button on his keyboard to bring us to bring his perspective to that person, so it looks and sounds like everything's kind of on the same thing there. But having that like bird's eye view in some instances is so much. I think especially for a color caster perspective, it's so much easier to be able to talk about everything you're seeing because you actually see the spacing, you see where everyone is, you see why did this ultimate just not find any value. Oh, they died mid ult. Like, it's so
Mhm.
interesting to see that different perspective.
Yeah. I definitely think the third person positioning is easier to tell with storytelling just because of they're just positioning. Oh, they're peeking that corner. They're on that high ground. You can tell very easily where they are. So that's I think the biggest reason it's slightly better. But
And Mega, you do some observing. Do you normally do play by play or what? Fuck. Do you normally do POV or third person?
POV, you do not want my third person. You do not want that shit. Purely because I am mouse and keyboard, and mouse and keyboard third person is you can tell when a person is mouse and keyboard third personing because it looks like stuttery isn't the word, but like it
rigid.
like you can tell. Yeah, rigid.
Yeah.
That'd be a perfect word for it.
How was your first Face It experience though this week, Mega?
Yeah.
Fucking awful. I got fucking overwhelmed. Well, first off, the first day shit broke. They just didn't invite me to lobby, so shout out. Um, and then the second day when I got that all sorted, I was like, yeah, I totally got this. And then I quickly realized I do not have the motor mouth to be yapping. I need a co-caster. That was the immediate realization. But you can't exactly just grab someone mid-series, so I just kind of had to rock out.
How how do you like Hunter rating you with 20 people?
I
Mm,
saw that raid and I was just like, Doug, I don't even like I've already talked to Echo about getting me like a basic little prod package together so it doesn't look like shit. I literally didn't even have my fucking webcam on because I just was so like I should have didn't even think the lobby was gonna invite me. So I it was last minute, but it was also just so many levels of scuffed. I was like, yeah, Face is gonna love this one. I'm really putting on a show for them right now.
to be fair, we were kind of finishing to the end of our thing, and I was kind of locked in. I saw Mega was on. I'm like, oh, Mega's on. I checked for like 1 second to make sure you were still in the game. I'm like, all right, this is perfect. I sent it, and then I actually got into the raid, and I just hear, oh my god, Hunter, what the fuck? I mean, thanks, but why?
Uh Shout out Face It League.
Oh
Observe,
yeah.
yeah, no, observing. There's a reason that I yap. There's a reason that I yap because observing, you actually have to know what you're doing. People think, oh, just spin around, fucking stead on players and stuff. But no, there's so much shit that goes into observing to actually be a good observer. Like you just have no clue.
Speaking of that, Spooky, let's talk about you now, especially when you first got in. What was one of the
Yeah.
first like maybe things that someone told you you really had to learn, or what was one of the first things you really picked up on when it came to observing?
Um, just trust your gut and there's really no wrong answer. Um, if you pick up, just don't be silent at the wheel, right? You have to at least do something, and it should be fine. Uh, Especially if you're with a team. So, thankfully, most of the time, I'm usually not by myself. But I think making mistakes is okay. and that's really all you need to hear.
Yeah, and especially in BPL where you said you basically do everything. Uh, they very rarely only have a solo observer. Because I feel like a lot of times the producers themselves, if there's only one observer, they'll also just jump in as a second observer to help out. Um, but like I think I think that's a very good like first very good thing to basically say like, hey, you're brand new, you're gonna make mistakes, and we've said a lot before in the past, especially with when we're talking to other casters, and it's like, hey, what was one of the first things you kind of had to get over? And it's always like, you're gonna fuck up, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna say the wrong team name, you're gonna say the wrong hero, you're gonna mess up names. My God,
Yeah.
you could be a pro at this. You're gonna fucking mess up names. Me and Hunter have been casting a person for a year and a half. Only found out on Saturday or last Saturday that we've been pronouncing their name wrong for a year and a half.
Yep. Yep.
Mm. Yeah, to be fair, it helps when we get the pronunciation from the actual like team that helped. And I went and looked at it because I double checked and I'm like, oh, that sounds like an H, not a J. Oh no. And then I said it correctly, and the deck said, wait, have we been saying it wrong? I'm like, yeah.
There you go.
Casters.
Exactly. You make mistakes and it's okay.
But like,
Well,
especially because it's a very big thing when it comes to casters to VOD review with people. Have you VOD reviewed or like done anything like that with another observer to try to like maybe improve on what you do, or has it just been like, you've just practiced, and you got better as it went on? Did you ever like sit
Yeah.
down with someone?
Yeah, I have never sat down with anyone. It's always been go in, just do your thing. I think I've been very lucky where I didn't need teaching. They're like, all right, they teach you on the job, you're fine. Just keep going. Um, you're not POV observing. You don't really need the VOD review. You just gotta keep learning, understand when to click a button, and there's the ceiling is not that high. Let's be real, but it's something.
Yeah, especially with POV, like you said. I think the biggest thing is just like saying, okay, I'm gonna hit this button. I better not
That's
be
it.
going to a dead guy.
Well, you kind of have to figure that out, and it's really it.
But like, especially with casters, it always feels like, and Hunter and Mega, they can jump in on this or say what I'm gonna say here is dead wrong, but it feels like bot reviewing with someone is something that you kind of have to do if you're trying to like maybe go up because you want to always kind of constantly learn. Observing, we definitely have heard of other observers coming here and say like, yeah, I did something with this person, I've done something with this person before, but I don't want to say observing is necessarily easier because it's definitely not. It's definitely not. Like Mega said, there's a lot of work that goes into observing to become a really, really good observer. But like Hunter and Mega, do you guys kind of get that as casters? Like, if you want to consider like moving up or at least being taken a little bit more seriously potentially by other people, you kind of have to do some VOD reviews with people.
You have to ultimately because I feel like the way a lot of us formed our styles originally was just from watching esports, whether we were watching Uber, Mr. X, Sideshow, and Bren, Avril, Achilleos. No matter who we were listening to, that is part of what formed our style. But the important part is not going off of their style. It's eventually forming our own and having someone who knows much better what they're doing to help you form that. Um, because you could be doing this for years on end, and there could be this simple thing that you're just not doing that is just going to just improve you if you just simply work towards that. And it's just something that might not come to mind. Um, but it's worth doing, even if you think, "Hey, I'm doing really good right now." Always tell yourself, "I can do better." 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, I think that one of the biggest things for casters that I feel like always warrants a VOD review is crutch words, because you have them. Everyone has them. And like you can it's so hard to catch your own crutch words because it just works into your vocabulary. But somebody else with a fresh pair of eyes on it could be like, hey, you're saying this a lot. Um and as well as, on the perspective of giving a VOD review as well, because, obviously I've been around, I'm actually in the process of helping someone learn recently. And it's just one of those things of, again, if you're hungry to learn, there's people in the scene who will gladly, um, sort stuff out and like actually, try to make time to help you improve, because at the end of the day, there's very few people who are actively going to gatekeep, is what I found. So like, reaching out, scheduling those VOD reviews, like, for example, the one Dex should do with leg day that he keeps talking about
Right,
but never
done.
schedules.
He did it. He
Oh,
did
it's
it.
done?
Right?
2 weeks
Oh.
ago.
Yeah, it's done.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm late. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, VOD reviews are important.
Not a real friend.
No, Mega's
hate
the
it,
only
bro.
reason I have that. I had that VOD review.
This is true.
Actually, she's double the reason that I had that VOD review, because she. What? Did you get leg day in here, Mega?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I just cold DM'd him on Twitter. I was like, "Hey, buddy, time to tap in. Podcast time." And then after he was in the server, you kept mentioning the VOD review, and I just was like, you know what? Here, let me force the issue, and I just pinged leg day. I was like, "Hey, listen, Dex wants a VOD review, but he's too scared because you're like famous person. Can you like tell him to lock in?"
Yeah, and then he said, "Yeah, sure. Let me just get through. I think it was Rivals finals at the time, and we'll figure something out." Then I forgot for a month and a half, and he eventually hit me with the fucking Alice in Wonderland rabbit holding the clock, like, "Hey, buddy, better remember this shit." But I think Mega brings up a really good thing, and especially with BPL, because it used to be something where it seemed like we always talked about it, at least in the first, like, maybe 25 episodes of it. BPL is this incredible place for people who are just getting into it, because much like what Mega said, no one's gatekeeping. People will be there to help out, whether it be like, I've seen Knock, I've seen Salmon, I've seen other people in there basically sit down and people in the Discord call with a screen share on, like saying, "Hey, here's how you set this up. Here's all you need to do with this." It's like they are really trying to make it as easy as possible for people to, and especially like I've always said, if you want to learn how to do anything with like Overwatch stuff, BPL is probably an incredible place to at least learn the basics. Then you can go to all these other leagues and practice it yourself as well.
They literally built a website called solom.gg/learn. Like, they want to teach people, and it's out there. The website's just out there for everyone to open. I think it's only production stuff, but it's the info is all there, and how to set up your own observer, own everything. So,
And I mean, Solomon, we've glazed Solomon GG in the past, but it is just it's a great website, especially now that there's so much shit on there.
yeah, taken over. It's the only reason why I know I have checks how many observers I've done. I've
187.
done 187. Yes.
I remember the number.
Congratulations.
But then how much is that is Overwatch? That's the issue. Probably
I
about
always-
100.
167.
No, it's probably around 100.
Huh.
I always daydream about the efficiency that CGO could have if Headrammer just fucking asked Solomon to help refine the CGO website.
Oh my
Like,
god.
it would actually just be amazing.
What would happen is he would just eat the website, and the website would just go
Yes,
there.
I
and
ate
that
it.
needs to happen. Like, listen, I love Headrammer to pieces, but Doug, like the CGL site, it just doesn't function properly. It takes you to like white basic like MS Paint and landscape drawings half the time when you're trying to like add yourself to a team. It looks
Oh my
awful.
god. It looks this when I was signing up for teams back in like 2018, it is the exact same thing. The exact same. Now nearly 8 years passed and it has not changed.
Gotta love it, man. I know, like, both websites have their flaws though, because I think Salmon has definitely said in the past, like, whoever is hosting Salmon GG actively hates Salmon GG because there's so much shit on it.
Well, yeah, we're like, all right, we can't actually post our bracket for J3 because if every single J3 viewer opens the website, it's not lasting.
It-
So we make like a challenge bracket to actually show like the viewers, but like the big three gets the Solemn GG bracket on the website, but the viewers has to open up a third party website.
You guys want to see a fucking server somewhere in Europe just fucking explode? Everyone, Sob and GG right now.
It explodes.
Everyone jump in there.
We will burn down a building by looking
Yeah,
at esports.
I think
shit.
like 100 people, it will explode.
You know what?
That's
We could get 100 people. We could easily somehow get 100
Yeah.
people together and all try to click the link at the same exact time and let's see what happens.
It probably dies.
I'd like to imagine Solomon is somehow hearing this conversation wherever he's at, and he's just like, "Those fucking idiots! Why are they planning to break it?"
Because if we break it, then it'll be
memes.
made better afterwards.
I don't know about that.
It'd be funny.
You'll just be IP banned from the website. Believe it or not, that'll actually be the only
He
change.
has all of our P's.
I'll never be asked to do anything else for BPL and BPL adjacent again.
Good luck. Everything's BPL adjacent now.
Yeah, we know.
It is. There's stuff on here. I'm like, wait, why is this on Solomon.gg?
Because he had a fucking hand in it.
He ate it.
It's like I did, but it's like, oh yeah, Solomon helped do that thing. So
Solomon
now
just-
it's just automatically a Solomon.gg production.
Solomon to everything in esports. I eated it.
His tummy's too full.
Solomon, when
Oh,
asked where the esports are with a suspiciously esports shaped belly.
Exactly.
Jesus. Oh god, there are VODs back here from like 2023. Good God.
That's only 3 years ago, man.
2023.
There's 2020 VODs there. What do
Yeah,
you
I was saying,
mean?
Yeah,
there's-
I was-
What?
yeah.
I was gonna say you
specifically
could
on my
expand
paper
your
casting,
horizons
right?
here a little bit and go a little bit further back in time,
I'm
but you
just
stop at
looking at-
2023.
I'm talking about my
Doug.
stuff specifically.
Oh, okay.
Alright?
There's a listen.
Buckaroos.
There's a game from I think either 2020 or 2021 on there of me getting match MVP with Brian Recurve Allen casting. Okay, like I've got some. There's some esoteric VODs that still
There is some
exist.
crazy VODs.
If you go back
are
far
some
enough,
big
you will
ones.
see people who casted who you've never heard from again.
We do not speak of the 2022 Snowdown, me, and I don't remember the other person incident.
It's fine. Sadly,
Wait,
a lot of the
wait.
season 1 games are tainted by
Wait,
a lot of
wait a sec.
people.
Oh no.
I apparently casted PGE at one point. Did not know this, but now my life is complete.
There you go.
Yeah.
PG isn't real.
He's disguised.
He's real. He's real. He's confirmed now. Yeah,
No, he's
real.
AI.
Fair enough.
possibly.
I mean, if you ate Wingstop every day, I don't think you'd live 2 weeks, but the man's still here.
It's just another supersized me. Is what it is.
There was a lot of flaws with Supersize Me, okay? That's been proven at this point. Oh, dude.
Anyway,
Yeah.
esports and the
Yeah.
Spooky person.
Yeah. Mega, you have an esports question for Spooky?
I have
We're-
something to bring up if you don't have a question. So,
No, please, you have the floor.
I mean, the only thing that we haven't touched on that I have done is I do the desk host / analyst role of every Friday for BPL during the BPL season. It's it's been like the passion project that I'm probably most proud of is trying to be consistent in an analyst role before every stream because everyone's like, all right, there's the pre-show, right? That's something that is something that I wanted to do. Who cares about the observing, anything else, the playing? I mean, the playing is probably better, but the production side of things, I think that's like the most like not out there, but like it's really just like this is the passion that is very interesting to me is this analytical role, and it's been a fun ride. It's currently on year 4 of it. Hopefully, it happens for year 4, but it's been 3 years and it's been really cool.
I was actually gonna ask you about that at some point because you have the desk host thing. You also have 6 cast to your name. So I was gonna ask about that. The couple times you've done that, but
Okay, let's see the 6 gas first, because I think most of these are not real.
let's take a look at your 6 cast on Solomon GG as we continue to plug that website.
Let's see. Most of them are not real or fake. I think they're mostly couch casts, and then the one with
Mm,
Snowdown.
You
All right, the
have one from
first
Snowdown 2022.
Snowdown 2022, I think, is the couch cast. Yes. Snowdown 24 is just wrong. I never casted that. The Goats was a couch cast. So those 3 games were couch cast, and then this stream was also a couch cast. Yeah, I was basically acting as like the analytical guy or just like a third person in the cast. I think it's interesting to be a part of. I feel like I would never want to be like in a duo. I'm very much that third guy to add the flavor in between the two people. Um and it could be cool to do, but I'm very much more interested in an analytical role as what we're doing right now, right? I'm able to ask these questions. I'm able to know when to talk, when to like interact with people, right? Like I feel like that's very interesting in that way that is going with a community tournament and talking about esports and talking about games and talking about all this. That it makes it very interesting to me.
Yeah, and couch casts are fun, but like as someone who's been like a normal caster with a duo or occasionally by myself, it's like you have to kind of set the ground rules for it. I feel like, and Hunter and Megan can probably attest to this when you have a couch cast, because if it's 3 or 4, I think once you get past 4 people in a couch cast, it's just more of like you're gonna eventually have 2 or 3 people break off into their own conversation, and the other two are just gonna kind of be sitting there like, I want to talk about the game, but everyone else is not focusing on it. Uh, but like I'll go back to a couch cast that I with Mega, and I forget what the other dude's name was, but it was like without ever talking to one another, we had like figured out in order of where it was gonna go. Mega, this other dude, me. Mega, this other dude, me, and we never broke that. And that was maybe one of the more fun experiences I ever had on Couchcast, because we had like those kind of things in there where it was not, there wasn't one person just being a play-by-play, there wasn't one person just being a color, and then there wasn't just one person also adding in stuff. It was like, hey, it would be play-by-play, color, play-by-play, and it would just kind of flip-flop, and it was always fun because of that. But couchcasts are just, I don't necessarily know if I could ever get comfortable with it, because again, I feel like you have to have those kind of ground rules set up, like who's gonna talk
Yeah.
about what.
For me, I feel like these couch casts that I want to be a part of are more like if you go to football, like the Manning cast, right? Like that ESPN 2 thing. Like you're not the mainstream. You're there to fill as a backup, as a color, right? It's these are not like serious casts that I've done. These are like, oh, let's just have a fun time and talk over it. It's it's something that's like okay to be a part of, but if I ever want to be like more serious, I feel like being a third person, like League does this a lot where you get that third person just to be like, okay, this is what they're doing. Kind of like what Sideshow used to do a lot for Overwatch, but like as the the analyst, like, oh, this is what this team's gonna do. And then they stop talking for like 2 minutes, right? It's kind of like I feel like that role could be interesting to me, but I really like being a desk host or an analyst job being before the game to actually hype up and tell that story that you then tell while observing. I have done into like analyst into observing to tell the story even further than what I just told, right? Like I told, watch out for this Genji. I spectate that Genji, right? It's a big like, oh, 6 hours, you're all in trying to tell the story, and it's very cool to me.
It, yeah, and I mean, going over to the host side of things, all 3 of us here have also been on a desk before with CGL Friday Night Overwatch / Saturday Night Overwatch, and
Mhm.
I imagine all 3 of us were had a lot of fun doing that. Like because you get to talk about again, stuff you could expect to see. Like you said, you're building storyline there, and that's something as casters, like, we love to talk about a storyline when we have it, when we are able to make a storyline and actually have it pay off. It is one of the best feelings in the world. As someone like in your position there, where you're building the storyline and then you're actually able to kind of follow up on it, I have to imagine, like, it's, I'm not gonna say euphoric when it happens, but it's like one of those things where, like you talked about, hopefully the casters there were there to listen to it because it's getting that payoff. But I know Hunter and Mega can attest, like, doing that kind of role is really, or being a host or being just a personality on a desk, it was really fun and something a little bit different from what we normally did with casting. Something I would really like to do again. But like Hunter, Mega, when you guys were on the desk for it, and please, I want to say both of you guys were on it because I don't remember. But what was that kind of like for you guys? What was your guys' biggest takeaway from doing that?
Hmm. I had never been on anything even close to a desk up until that point. And to be fair, it was the first time in a while that we had brought back FNO. Because it had been around seasons prior, but it obviously went away, came back. Now it's gone away again. But for me, it was a fun experience because I got to work with people that I knew by name, but I never worked with before. You think of like Sam, you think of like Bull Skunk, even Joker, who I knew very well to that point, never worked with him because obviously we're both play by play. And that's an experience that you'll get is where people who are like color or play they won't usually ever work together traditionally, but that is the one environment that they will work together. So people that like Bullskunk and like Joker, which by all means, based on what we do, will probably never cast a game together. That is an opportunity for us to put our thoughts together in a situation like that. Phone, shut up. Um, but it was a really fun experience being on there, be able to talk away at it and have a really good time with it. And then being able to just sit there with them for the next hour and a half and just watch the match with them and commentate on it, obviously to each other at that point. But it was a lot of fun because then we go into into the post match with a bunch of perspective on it, which makes it far easier to talk about than just like, hey, here's this random game we're going to jump into and let's do about 10 minutes of research and pray to Shadow Jesus that we sound like we know what we're talking about. But
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The Like, I absolutely agree with that sentiment. Like, it truly is just fun, but at the same time, there does have to be just a level of chemistry, right? Because, like, while you want to be entertaining, you're the prelude to the match, right? You have to hype people up. You have to, actually inform, like, hey, what's going on? What are we expecting in this matchup and stuff like that. And that's absolutely fun. Um, Again, when you have the right chemistry and the right people. I like my perfect example, right? Y'all know I do not give a fuck about sports ball in the slightest. However, the I don't know what the official name of it is, but the NBA desk that they do with
Inside the
Shaq.
NBA.
Yeah, that, like, those 4, it's fucking amazing because they tell you about the game, but there's a little comedy. There's, like, the 4 of them clearly have great chemistry together, as well as they have their own little mini segments and stuff going on, but they still hype you up for the match. They still get you into the game ready to go, be like, "Yeah, I'm about to go watch basketball," and stuff like that. And, like, that right there is why hosting is such a good thing, but the most unfortunate thing is, unless it's something like what Spooky's doing, where it's just a passion project you're bringing to life, at this level of esports, it just doesn't exist. Because nobody is going to, unless somebody is really actively fighting to put it out there, nobody is going to commit the time and resources into something like that when there's still a million other things that have to get done within the esports frame before you can even worry about having a host segment.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something that it's literally a two-man job. It's a two-man job, that desk shop, and then there's the guest, right? It's me and Jimmy doing everything that we could just to keep it alive, right? We do preparation. It takes a lot of preparation to talk about the teams beforehand because you need to talk about the teams. You need to get it right because if you get it wrong, someone's gonna call you out, and it's very interesting to talk about, like, oh, this is gonna be the best game because we know it's gonna be the best game, right? Talk about, oh, who did good last week, because you can't be BSing it, because they call you out on it. You have to be passionate about it. It takes a lot of effort to get into it, and it's a good reward. It's a big passion project because there's so much work that gets put into it, and at the end of the day, you don't really need it, right? The production at the end of the day doesn't need it, but it's a cool flavor on top of it.
I want to come back to that. I'll come back to that here in a brief moment because I just want to show something that was, I think, and Mega talked about it, like inside the NBA they are really knowledgeable on what they're talking about, but they also have funny moments here and there. Let me just get this all pulled up here. There's gonna be no sound playing at all through this. This happened on Christmas.
Yeah, runs to the
Oh
wall.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
And the best part about this entire thing is that they didn't like this is all for a bit, but they kept the background like this the entire rest of the show with like the fake screen broken type thing. But like especially now going back over to you here. It's a passion project. It really is. And doing something like that is really, really fun. I mean, that could be what this podcast is for me. It could be what me and Hunter are doing in Face It is for us. But it's like, again, at the end of the day, like, especially when we three did the last pod review here, like, we talked about views on this podcast and how many we get. Because let's be honest, we are and I think it was Mega or Hunter brought it up that I think that leg day. I think it was Mega that brought up that because leg day brought up that this podcast is a niche within a niche. We're in the niche of esports, and then we're going even a little bit further more down the niche rabbit hole by saying, okay, we're not talking about esports, the games itself. We're talking about the productions of it, which you're going from a small section of it to an even smaller one. So we're trying to hit that. We're trying to hit a very small audience, but at the same time, it's like if this podcast, if we were basing it off of views, maybe there was a time where we would have probably stopped, but we are keep going with it because I think the three of us certainly do like doing it, and it's something really fun to look forward to everyone. And I have to imagine what with you and doing that pregame show, it is like you said, a passion project. You have a lot of fun doing to it. You have a lot of fun doing it. You have a lot of fun probably at least getting everything together because that was one thing when I was on the desk a couple times for SNO. Like I looked up everything I possibly could about the teams. I wanted to sound knowledgeable. I did not want to go in there saying like, yeah, I really think we're gonna see insert hero that gets played all the time tonight by this person who I know will play it.
Yeah, exactly. That exactly my point. It's something that's the podcast is also it's very similar to the desk, right? Like you gotta be prepared. You gotta know who the guest is. You gotta set them up right. We're telling a story right now. Like you know what I mean? We're telling a story right now, and it's really cool to like be a part of this, and it's very cool to be a part of all that stuff, right? Like we're telling a story of what I'm doing, right? So it's very interesting to me.
I don't. I'm. I want to ask Hunter and Mega this.
Sure.
You guys come prepared for this podcast every week.
Define prepared.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You
Okay.
have to at least know, like you gotta know
No, well,
something, right? Like
but here, but
obviously in your head, you're like, okay, this is what I could ask, or I know this is what. Obviously, you have to get a guest every week. That's important, right? A guest is important, and it's a lot of work,
Mhm.
and you have to appreciate it. Obviously, someone does it more than the rest, but you know, you gotta. It's still appreciative.
Do you know what this feels like? Do you remember how Knock showed up with like an entire like note
Knock,
cards and everything?
Knock showed up with a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
He sent me like 3 or 4 photos of stuff he wanted to talk about, and I was like, "Holy shit! We've never had a guest that's done that." And if there's ever a guest that wants to do that again, you're free to. Like if you're gonna come here with photos of stuff to talk about, you're showing us the passion that you have for it. It's really, really fun to see. And I think we only got through like 2 of the photos that Knock had, because one of them was like an actual info sheet. It was like, yeah, like here's a big picture of everything I have, and here I circled and wrote what this does. I circled and wrote what this does, and we're gonna talk about that for a little bit. Like that one, it's still up. I think the Knock episode is still up there in my top 5.
We should tier list the episodes at some point. That'd be fire.
Well,
You're good.
that's your next review. Review everything.
I think
Number 4.
the 3 of us, we won't say it. We've talked about it, like off the podcast. I think a lot of we would all almost basically say we know what episode we did not like the most.
Now it's content, you know? Now it's content. Now you can't say it. And
Wait,
now
I
you gotta
don't
wait.
I'll say it's content we gotta wait, but message me after because I'm so confused. I was like, I don't know if I have a worst off the top of my.
I will message you it right now.
Oh, actually,
See, now I've generated content, even though I totally knew the answer. See, look at that, team.
Yeah.
Now we've
Hey,
created
hey,
a moment.
Mega has
I'm so
blackmail
good.
on me now. Thank you.
But no, I mean, yeah, it's
here.
just to get back to like the central point. Like again, this is like realistically, you can boil a lot of esports down to just being like it's a passion project, right? Because
Yeah.
we don't know. Esports is the most uncertain field in the world. We could have $1 billion tomorrow, or we could have no dollars. There's no in between. We don't know. We're fucking bowling on a budget with everything we do. Sometimes no budget. Sometimes like it's just, do you want to be here? Yes or no? And then it goes from there. And the passion is what keeps esports alive. Like you've heard that so many times over the years from tons of different creators and stuff like that, but it is just genuinely true. Just
Yeah,
like the
100%.
passion that you have to have for a scene like this, not just Overwatch, just esports in general it's an entire thing.
It's a whole big thing. It's crazy. It's I don't know. That's a whole can of worms to unlock. On passion of esports. To the point where I don't even want to get into it because it is just a whole conversation. It
It probably
really
get
is.
talked
Like,
about a lot though too, right? Like
yeah,
Yeah. Like I will say this: after my and Hunter's basic broadcast, there will at least be, I'll probably say, 1 to 3 times a month where we end up talking for like an hour and a half after it, just about like what we think we're doing with it.
Yeah.
Whether it's leading somewhere or whether it's just we're just here type thing. And it's always that thing where there's the very negative and very like down in the dumps talk about it, like we're not doing this for what are we really doing? Could be doing so much more. But then there's the positive and like really uplifting ones. There's like, I feel like we're doing something here that's very, very fun. Very, very fun. And there's that delicate balance of it all, which is, again, it's a delicate balance of this is great and like, there's other stuff that I could be doing.
yeah, but you're having fun with this, so
Yeah.
you know, it's always like that. Like you're hanging out with someone that you love doing this stuff with, so it's perfect.
Okay, so I want to ask you, because you, like you said, you worked a lot in BPL. Definitely have had to work, and I know you're definitely working with some of maybe our favorite people when it comes to observing. I joked at the start of this podcast I would call them the Horsemen, because they would always kind of do observations together, and you're working with a lot of them in upcoming Marvel Rivals thing that got announced today, basically. So I want to talk about you working with Orange, Reach, and Cry here for a brief moment, because again, we've all had them on the podcast before. They're really fun people, but we've talked about where they could be having a conversation that's nowhere even close to being about the game they're casting, but they're still it doesn't affect them at all. What is it like to kind of be able to function in maybe what is a controlled chaos sort of environment?
Yeah, of course. That the talks are absolutely nuts, but someone always has to be the level out, right? I feel like I serve the role of like trying to poke at them back. Basically they kind of team up, they team up. Like let's be honest. So you got to poke back at the bear, and it's always kind of fun with them. And everyone knows that it's gonna be a good time. It's not like, oh, we hate each other type thing, but we're gonna make fun of each other 100%. So it's always a fun time.
And like I've said it a lot. I would love to have just be a fly on the wall, or just sit in the Discord as that's going on, just kind of listen to it. Because, like I said, maybe some of the best observers I've ever worked with have been those three and a couple other people and yourself. But those three seem to have like this chaotic energy that is just really out there. Like it's really funny because I saw today the horse reached at Twitter account turned
Okay.
1 year old, and I think that's an inside joke with them because I think Orange said whenever Reach smiles, sometimes it's like they show their teeth and it's like a really big smile. So like
Yeah,
anytime I
yeah.
think they got like drunk or something, they would just start posting on that account. So it's really
Probably
funny.
through the whole this podcast, I've been smiling like crazy. I'm a known smiler. But I have a joke where it's like I turn my camera, it's like, oh, he's cheesing now. So, you know, I'm a silly guy at heart, but you kind of need to be the more serious of the group,
Mhm.
kind of. But you're kind of like I'm kind of like the contrarian at the end of the day against them. But it's funny. It's a fun bit, but it's working with them. It's absolutely like, oh, they know what they're doing, so you don't really need to tell them, hey, this is what you need to do. Everyone's at it. Like no one's telling anyone else what to do because everyone knows what they're doing. And then Solomon does his magic of he picks it. Um, like no one yells at each other about this stuff, so it's always really cool.
What's the wildest conversation that you've had to try to steer them away from?
Hmm. It's always them bringing up older jokes that you don't know. Um, Obviously everyone loves to talk about the Pluto Venn diagram one. It's definitely been talked about here because person loves that joke.
I don't know it.
Um,
I
the
this is not me making a bit. I don't know
It's
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure I've heard the story get talked on this podcast because I've definitely
Oh
listened to
no.
that episode. So
I was
I'm
like,
gonna call you
person
out
definitely
anyway.
did talk about this. Person
Um,
definitely talked about this.
For sure,
it's
for sure.
it's the original J3 Overwatch tourney. Pluto talked about, does EU have Venn diagrams?
Oh yeah,
And
no,
then
I remember now.
Solomon says it's from John Venn that made it, and it's just a classic. But it's
Uh,
like you don't even know what they're talking about. They just talk about random stuff. Sometimes it's usually just about cats or Reach went to go get Chipotle or hot sauce or something like that. It's always the same jokes over and over, so it's kind of funny. But sometimes we need to stop doing the same jokes, but it's okay.
I mean, this podcast we've done the same joke a lot. So sometimes the same
Listen,
joke is good.
same joke is funny. Like, I think of that night that there was a bunch of us in the Kinetic server, and for pretty much 7 hours straight, we just kept saying, "Mods, kill that guy," in just different ways.
The problem is I wanna tell the same joke, okay? I wanna do the same thing over and over again. You
Oh,
can't
I
be funny,
see.
I'm the funny one.
I see, I
oh boy.
see.
You
See,
can't be
that's how that VC goes,
you
okay?
can't be the
I'm the
funny
funny one,
one
you
and
know?
the one that's the voice of reason. It doesn't work like that.
Yes,
It
yes.
can't work like that. That's impossible.
Like, I'm gonna be real, the second you said that about how you normally are the funny one, but around them you have to sort of be the one to lock in, like, I just was like, "Oh, this is some T-girl polycule type shit that I'm hearing about right now." Like, this is the
No.
same kinda energy.
It's like when I play with Mega, the social deception game, I lock in and still be funny.
Listen, we don't talk about that game.
I lock
That
in but
game,
still be funny.
there's joyous whimsy afoot in that game. It's great. And again, that comes back to community because again, literally, it's a BPL adjacent community where I would say weekly, but we've been so far off weekly for so long because of shit.
Okay.
But just a bunch of people get together and play a funny little game called Blood on the Clock Tower. It's very fun.
I want to be a part.
Spooky
I'm
is
definitely not the
always
voice.
evil.
I'm definitely not the voice of reason there.
I want to be a
This
part of one of these
dude,
social deception games. I feel like I would do pretty good.
I'm telling you, listen, if you're in Teku Core, pull up. There's a whole
Oh,
role for it and everything.
I think I am. I think I'm in tech.
It's great. Don't listen to anything Spooky says, because even if Spooky's on your team, Spooky will feed you lies just for the sake
Oh,
of entertainment.
I'm a big liar everywhere. Like in the VCs, I'm a big liar. The observing VCs, I just lie out of my ass. It's not good.
Just mid game, be like, yeah, I have Genji blading on one, and then it's just you're on like a venture or something.
No, I just say like I'm funny and then I lie because I'm not funny. But you know,
I have Genji blading. Picture it's just camera on a chair. Just that joke was
all right,
bad.
maybe I take back
He
the voice of
tried.
reason. I'm just a contrarian. I am not the voice of reason. I do the exact opposite.
Oh, that's thank you for giving me the title of this this podcast. Now
Oh,
I'm just
great.
a contrarian.
I love
I'm
voice
just
of
a
reason.
contrarian. No, no.
I love Mr.
I want to
Love.
retract that.
Too late.
No.
You don't have the power to type the title in.
Someone's gonna be like, "You're not the voice of reason,"
Well,
because
now
I'm not. Because the definition of voice of reason is not. I'm not that.
you could just be lying to us. Mega said you're a great liar.
Here's the
I am
problem
not a good
is
liar.
who in BPL is the voice of, like, it
Solomon.
legally is Solomon, but at the
Probably
same
is
time
me, and it's probably me.
I was gonna say Solomon's just talking about trains half the time.
Trains are cool.
Problem is, it's probably me, and that's the issue.
You know,
BPL, like, everybody's like hiring them, like, oh my goodness, they have this really
Who's
good
the
team.
most normal guy? It's probably me. It's
It's
probably
probably,
me.
but it's just like BPL is actually just masquerading as like a professional prod team, but it's just clowns in a trench coat. With no disrespect, of course, like, funny, and they still do great work, but like it's just the
It
silly
is
factor is
clowns.
at a 74.
When is BPL gonna get back into trains? I haven't seen them be in trains in like a year now. I feel like we're at that yearly time where they're like really into trains again.
No. It happens during the season. So people they get distracted during BPL. It happens during the season.
Yeah, but
Oh, it's timed.
it's like trains, or it's Plate Up, or it's something else, or web fishing. I think that was the big game last
Oh,
season.
yeah.
What's gonna be the big game for BPL this year? That's not Overwatch, because it's gonna be web
They're-
fishing.
Here, I can bring up a good topic that we can go back onto our course because we can stop rambling.
I'm fine with it.
What about Deadlock? All right.
Oh,
So we know Solomon touches Deadlock. Once BPL does Deadlock.
An
What's your
interesting way to
thoughts on
phrase
that?
that, but okay.
Well, Solomon produces
Yeah, I
and
know.
owns part of a company that does Deadlock stuff, and
No longer fight
Wamsif
night, it's night shift,
BPL.
right?
It's night shift,
Yeah.
yeah. So Wamsif BPL does a Deadlock tourney. No.
I'm surprised they haven't yet. Honestly, I
I
gotta
mean,
be honest.
it's what night shift is,
Yeah.
essentially.
Well,
He
Essentially.
steals
that's
like
an invite. That's an invite. Top 3 best teams in the world
yeah.
play there.
I mean, hey, I feel like I keep on hearing that it's like Deadlock is actually about to finally fully release and not just be in beta again. So whenever that happens, Solomon's gonna
We're
probably be
hoping.
right there with the first community league for it, ready to go.
He's made the package already. The package is already done.
I'm not surprised.
There could be like, if Solomon is ever interested in any esport game, he is gonna have a package ready for it within a week of it. It could be a game that has nothing to do with esports, but if he sees something there, he's like, "Fuck it, I got it. Just package done, ready to go. Let's start this now."
Did you know the BPL break screen's based off of League? The League to esports break screen? It's the exact same.
I did not know that
Yep.
because I don't watch League because I don't hate myself. That's a lie. I hate myself, but I definitely don't
no
watch
one
League.
knows. No one knows. But if you look at the BPL break screen and look at a Worlds break screen, it's the same thing.
I was gonna say, I feel remembering the couple times I've watched Worlds, because that might be the only time I ever watch anything to do with League of Legends. Like, I'm starting to see it now.
Yep. Yep. There is a league package, but it's not great. It's kind of on its legs.
I mean,
But-
I'm not surprised. Salmon doesn't necessarily, I think, care that much about League of Legends. Like, again, nothing against League of Legends.
There's a
Nothing against
Valorant
League of Legends.
package. There is. I think that's it.
You know,
I think
actually,
that's
what when is the next Vix Invitational? We need
You
that.
got to DM Vic. You know, he's too busy actually refereeing real matches.
I was
Is
gonna say
that what
that
you
man
want
is.
next? You
Yeah.
want a referee for the podcast?
Fuck it, yeah. Hey, we've had social media managers. Let's just keep on
Yeah.
going. We need to find the most obscure esports role out there and get them
Yeah,
to come on. So
He
referee,
does EMEA refereeing for Valorant.
yeah,
Like
definitely.
tier 1.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's get a referee on. I would love to have that to talk about, to figure
we
out
get-
what they.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, just figure out how you actually properly referee an esports game, because I feel like there's definite things that players could easily get away with.
See,
Yeah.
I was thinking, what a referee would be a good shout, but like, what if we got like one of the people who operated a camera during like Overwatch League for like the actual people? Like, we just could get like the actual camera people. Be like, how do you make an esports player look cool?
I think that's harder to get. Do you know someone that does that, or someone that knows someone that does that?
We
No.
might know someone
sure.
that knows someone that might know
Yeah.
someone.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Dexatron might know someone.
Who?
Probably.
I was gonna say unfeatured. Who knows Sojourn? Probably knows someone.
Yeah.
Jeez. But seriously, what's gonna be the next? What's gonna be the next production game for BPL here? Because Minecraft already happened, and I feel like that went
I
down
know.
in a blaze, as it always does.
Yeah.
Mm,
Is that video still
Ye-
being worked on?
Is it?
no,
Does that video exist?
he
No?
hasn't started yet. They're making a compliment server.
He
That's
hasn't
what
started yet.
He
Classic
hasn't
Tech.
started yet. He's on the next project already. Classic Tech. No, but
We'll see
if my option is Deadlock. I think Deadlock is the next BPL tournament. That isn't been done before. Hopefully it happens again, but we'll see what happens.
It probably will. Like, it makes the most sense. Like you said, Solomon already does one thing in it. He already has a package ready to go. So once it finally gets out of beta, even though you can just download Deadlock, you don't have to still get the invite code to it
You
now.
need the invite.
You still
need
need
the
the
invite
invite code? Dear God, I got that randomly from somebody I never talked to from my college.
Anyway, it's so easy to get it. It's so easy to get it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Like if you want to play, you can play. Like
Yeah.
let's.
So I've been playing a little bit. Like, listen, game's fun. I see the vision with it.
Oh yeah, I definitely see the vision.
Like,
It's good vision.
Almost like Valve always puts out good games. Curious.
The math is mathing.
there's probably one bad Valve game out there.
I'll
Let's
wait.
Let's go find out.
Respectfully, I'll wait. You find it, I'll be sat right here.
Counter-Strike
Like,
2
I'm not
for
even-
the Xbox 360.
Okay.
My bad.
I don't know
CS:GO
what you're saying.
for the Xbox 360. Counter-Strike 2 never is gonna go to a console.
Yeah, but it's almost like shooters like that don't function on console.
You have Siege.
Okay, Siege is not anything like Counter-Strike. Siege is
Tactical shooter.
awful. Siege sucks.
If
There's
you've
a
ever
bunch of
worked
cheaters in
if
there,
you ever
man.
worked within Siege esports, love to have you come on. Love to have you come
Yeah,
on.
definitely.
Listen, I went to a Siege event once, and don't like it's an esport, and I think that the people there do great with it. It's just like I don't understand how people are entertained by your game.
Mm, I do occasionally watch the esport. I will say.
Well, there you go.
That's as far as I go beyond that. It's fun to watch once in a while.
I got
That's
nothing.
kind of it. That's
You're,
kind of it.
you're good. I barely watch it either. But here, Spooky, what about you? Like, what's the next thing you like? You're trying to necessarily get into? Is it gonna be deadlock observing? Is it gonna be you focusing a little bit more on? Gonna try to make head in rivals? Is Valorant potentially something you're looking at, or are you gonna try to just stick with what you have right now? Are you what's the next thing you're really looking at doing here?
I feel like there isn't really looking forward in a lot of this stuff. I'm really just gonna take what I can get. I'm if someone asked, "Hey, you want to go do this? Are you free?" I'm gonna say yes. But like, I'm not gonna go out and say like, "Hey, go, can I do this?" It's not really my style at the end of the day. Because it's again, it's just like I'm here to do it, I guess, and it's really cool that being a part of this, and I'm very thankful that I'm doing this. But I'm not really looking for it. Again, I'm working a 9 to 5, so it's
Hmm.
like, like, I'm okay. Like, someone else can do it, but, like, I'm really happy that I'm still able to do this Marvel Rival stuff, and everyone else can do Overwatch. I would like to keep my Overwatch money at $0, $0. Um,
You
You
get
don't know how close.
$1 from Overwatch. You're just gonna
Yeah.
you will cease to exist. We will never
no,
see
but
Spooky again in Overwatch.
I don't I
Do
think it's
not pay
really
this
cool.
man.
Yeah, I just think it's really cool where I'm at. I'm not really looking to branch. Um but I'll keep taking the opportunities that they keep giving me, right? Like Solomon's an amazing person to be a resource with, and he's been giving me like gigs that I am very thankful for, and let's just keep bringing them. Surprise me, please surprise me because I don't really care.
I think that might honestly be one of the better answers, maybe one of the best answers we've ever had for that question. Because like you said, you're very much fine doing with what you're doing right now. There's no need for you to. And you bring up another thing that's very like you bring up you have a normal job. Me and Hunter have a normal job. Mega's a student. I imagine once she graduates, she will have a normal job as well. Like I could be perfectly fine sticking with where I'm at right now and casting in BPL and CGL, casting for Rising Chord every now and then, doing Face It.
I
Just
laugh
the
Rising Chord.
what?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay, doing what me and Hunter do in Face It. I could be happy doing that the rest of my life, and for free. But like there is always a thing where it's like, you know, I want to see what's up ahead. What else is there that I could do? But having someone say like they're perfectly fine doing what they're doing, they don't need to, is I think honestly really refreshing, and it's a really good answer as well.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I just the BPL community is like, oh my god, like I've been here from the start. I know we keep talking about a community, but like it's something that I'm very grateful that I put my hand in it, and very thankful that I'm able to help grow this community. And I've done it in many, 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 many different ways and how to help this. Really feel like if you think about who's actually helped so much, I wish my name gets brought up just because of what happened, but I'm not looking for my name to get brought up. Usually it's like, all right, you think of Solomon, right? Who else do you think of? You think of Knock, right? You get the usual names. You get the usual names. But like
Yeah.
there's a huge team. Like you don't hear people like say like, "Oh, what did Jupiter do this tournament?" "Oh, she wrote the whole like every announcement." You don't know that. Like stuff like this, like there's so many people that behind the scenes that doesn't get the praise. I do feel like I'm one of those people that like, all right, what does he actually do? You know what I mean? But there's I'm just thankful that I'm able to build this like huge like again, I'm going back to like all the conversations we already had
Yep.
already. But like there's so many different communities, and it's so cool to look back on.
And no, I think the fact that we keep on going back to the community again, it's always a good thing. Like it's my favorite answer when people say when I ask the question, "What keeps you coming back?" If we're gonna keep on talking about it, it really shows that like, hey, this is a very important thing. It's a very important thing to like whoever the guest is. Like the community is just as great as it possibly is. And it's like if people are going to look at that as a bad thing, I don't know why anyone ever would. Like it is a good thing to be a part of a really good community.
Yeah, it's so much effort behind the scenes, and it's absolutely crazy that the work that everyone has done, and it's a huge team effort.
But before we get into our normal couple questions here to round out the podcast, Spooky, it sounded like you maybe had another question you had ready to go. Do you have another question?
Do I have another question? Yeah, why not? Uh, what indirectly can you name one person that helped you with your casting slash getting into esports? Indirectly, name one person that helped you. It could be not even someone who even has a Discord, not even someone who was on actually casting. Is it your parents? Is it someone else? Like, who do you think has helped you so much with that?
I want to shout out my first duo I had back in college. Uh, he has a Discord. I talk to him every now and then, but I only know him. I only go call him by his actual name of Levi. He actually ended up helping me out a lot when I first got into casting because one, he was someone I could bounce stuff off of, and I wasn't just solo casting. And even though me and him were both very much brand new to it all, he would give me like tips on how to improve. And it would be like, I would go back and watch, like, yeah, he's actually telling me the truth about like stuff I'm messing up, stuff I'm constantly going on and on about. Like, that's probably like he's probably helped me more than a lot of other people have, at least because he was there at the start to like when I did not know what the hell I was doing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It
I
could be a
wish I could give.
concept. It doesn't have to be a person. It
Yeah,
could be
it's
you
like
being.
I don't think I can give it to one like direct person. In terms of like inspiration, like Jake always comes to mind. I bring up Jake every time we have a question, like anywhere related to this. Uh, but just a man who had a passion for the game, played it for so long, and when that eventually went through, he still found passion in casting the game, which is in a sense how I did, especially where you wouldn't think I cast as much as I've stumbled over my words this entire podcast, but um, just the way he was able to transition over towards it so seamlessly, it was still able to carry over all that passion as well. That always stuck to me, but in terms of like actual people that I communicate with, low key, um, before I really got back into casting around the time that I did, a couple of the teams that I was a part of, honestly, so teams like Kasugai Crows and Frost that I was a part of, e- they were like essentially just like my hype squads, essentially. Like coming out towards the games, talking to me after things. I would hang out in there. Like when the faces stuff happened last year, they were like losing their minds, and they came out for all of that. That's a lot of fun, mainly because it's people that you've kind of seen grow and be better and better players. These are now players that are going and playing in Face It League now, and they're doing really good out there. But just having those people that are constantly there and rooting you on, it's not something you think about a ton, I think, but it's something you can't take for granted at all.
I think for me personally, like I could just name like tournament tournaments and TOs, like it's more so just the concept of people who are willing to look past the VTuber model and allow me opportunities despite that. Because it's very easy to just, regardless of what you think of my casting skill, to just look and be like, oh, you're using a VTuber model, not a camera, and just shut it down. And nobody would ever fault you for it, right? It's very easy to just shut that down and say no. But to look at that and be like, yeah, we can still host a professional broadcast with this. Yeah, I'm fine with this. I have no beef. I have no qualm. Um, it's the only reason I am casting because I've tried casting with a camera and all of my confidence is gone. It fades into the background, and I am just extremely self-conscious and worried the entire time, and my casting suffers dramatically because of it. And so, quite literally, the only reason I'm able to be a caster, to say that I'm a caster, is because of tournament organizers and tournament admins who they look at it and they're like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." You're it's it's a luxury that I don't ever have to be afforded, but every single time I am afforded it, it's almost like a luxurious gift, and it makes me appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to answer my own question. I know,
Yeah.
but just because I have stuff to bring up after this, meaning like I asked this question because I have answers to talk about. The first one is I always like to joke about BPL would never happen without Avast. Like Avast is like the guy that started everything. So like you need to thank Avast for everything that's come after BPL because it's all Avast, right? Like that guy made the community to what BPL actually is, and then it exploded from there. Think of Vast. Now, my real answer is a concept. It's probably me relating everything back to like being a sports captain when I used to play like varsity baseball. Um, I being a captain, how to communicate to others is a huge thing that I've learned as a captain and how to be like a role model for others, right? Trying to teach people what you want and what other people need is like a huge thing that I learned at that time as like being a sports captain. And I think I always think about that as like relating to like this podcast now. What am I trying to give and take in this podcast that I'm currently? I always relate it to like that type of stuff right there.
Um, I wish I could relate as well. I really do, because there's a lot. There's just um, I really.
Yeah. That's like I always think of that concept whenever I do anything is like I relate it back to being a sports like varsity baseball sports captain. I don't know why. I just always think about it cuz I feel like it's an important thing to keep thinking about and how to be like a leader like that.
Off topic, but on topic. Who's your team?
The New York Yankees.
Oh god. Oh god.
I have a Derek Jeter cereal box right next to me. Um,
I,
it's pretty funny.
I want you to take a picture of that and send it to Joe. Yeah, Joker, because I know he's
Yeah,
a Yankees
Joker.
fan. Like, oh god.
That's beautiful.
I mean, and you have it in. You have it case. Is it graded?
Is it graded?
Is your
No,
Jeter's
it's not
box?
graded. Also, my headphones unplugged, so I'm kind of screwed right now by trying to grab it, but it's
Oh.
fine.
No, you can. Are they plugged back in?
Oh no, it's not.
You have time here. Plug it back in.
Yeah, I can't tell.
It's not. Oh,
Ah, that's painful.
all right.
That's painful.
But let's now move on to our normal final couple questions here. Hunter, as always, we start with you.
Yes, of course. So
I
spooky.
hit
That's
Pepsi.
if that is. Yeah, that's all I really had at the moment, and I didn't really want to get up and break the illusion. So this is what I'm left with. Oh,
Fair
my
enough.
voice is gonna be dead by next week. Um, so spooky. If that is your real name,
It's not, but yeah.
uh, okay, that's all right. That helps. That's gonna help with this question coming up here. Um, so obviously, all of us that have gotten into not just esports but gaming in general, we've all either picked some name or had some name picked out for us that we associate when we play games. All of us have had one. Some of us have had 5, 10, God knows how many. But this leads me to the question of why did you decide on Spooky as your handle name?
Yeah. It is my one and only username. The full username is Spooky Snowboard, right? It's been my username for I think probably like 12-ish years now, maybe 13.
Mm,
Um It's been the only username I've kept. Yeah, there you go. Keep it going. But no, but
Yeah.
I shorten it to Spooky pretty much regularly, but like it's fine. Um, yeah, see, that's a snowboarding picture right there. I have a whole bunch of shit in my background. Like there's wrestling stuff. I put like
Yeah,
all
I
there's
I could tell it was
the esports
wrestling.
stuff.
I couldn't tell too
I
what it
put like
was.
little Easter eggs around. There's like baseballs right there. There's
Yeah.
baseballs.
I
There's
was,
like
like,
Overwatch
zooming in, like
characters. There's a plant.
yeah.
There's an F1 car. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I
I,
collected in the background.
I just love. Yeah, here's my baseball stuff. Here's my Overwatch stuff. That's just a plant. Here's my F1
That's
stuff.
just a plant. I put a plant there, you know? It is what it is. But, yeah, so, to go back to it, it was like a randomly generated name. Um, Pretty much I found it on a random generator thing. My dad was helping me put it into Xbox Live. The original username actually was Spooky Snowboard with no E, and all the O's were zeros.
Mm.
Eat speak, man. Let's
But
go.
then it came to be Spooky Snowboard with an E during my Minecraft account because my dad spelled it wrong, and it was the same ever since. So I've personally kept it because it was funny like that, and I keep it to this day because it's unique, right? So that's it.
And another name that was given to them by their dad. It's been the first. That's been the first time
Well,
I've
it
had
was
that in a
randomly
while.
generated, and he put it in, and he misspelled it. You know?
He curated it. He gave you something unique.
Oh yeah.
Give it some pizzazz, we'll call it. Pizzazz. Who uses the word pizzazz anymore, man?
You just did.
Yeah, but
So
I feel like I haven't
apparently
heard it been said in so long. I'm fine with that. I'll take it.
Spooky, when was the last time you said pizzazz?
I don't. Never.
Fair enough. Mega, what about you?
I'd say November of last year when I was singing along to specifically the Will Smith genie song from the live action Aladdin. There's a lyric in there where he says "punch pizzazz."
Can I re-answer that question? This question?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Pizzazz right now.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
I'm speaking. I'm using old people words. I'm cooked. It's over.
Just think about I'm trying to think of like words from the 90s that just don't get used anymore. I was gonna say radical, but then I remember that word still gets used a decent amount.
It does. I'll still use the phrase like I have to people don't use this anymore, and it really shocked me. And I know this is an out of pocket phrase to bring up, but the concept of I gotta piss like a racehorse. No one says that anymore.
Oh, thank
No
you.
one says that. You guys know what it is, but no one just says it in a conversation casually.
You're just not in the South.
Yeah, did you guys know
that
that was
is
a
true.
phrase?
Oh, I did, but
Okay.
I
Did you
don't
not
care.
know that was a phrase, Sex?
No.
I probably heard it before, but didn't know it was like a commonly known phrase.
I've known it to be common growing up, and now I speak at it, and people look at me like I'm speaking some voodoo magic.
It's the South, you know. It is what it is.
It is, and I'm up in Ohio. People just look at me funny, like
You're on the
"What's
wrong side of the Mason-Dixon line to be saying that.
I am. I'm not with the wrong people.
No. You're probably not with the wrong people. But
Christ.
Mega, it's
Oh,
your
yeah.
turn.
Yeah, my turn. Yay. So
Let's
Spooky,
go.
you know me. I exist to spread misery and hatred. That's kind of my
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
So we actually, yeah, we have a graphic for it and everything. It's pretty cool. But I want you to think back, the hundreds of billions of prods you have done over the years. And, you know, obviously, there's a few different things that may stick out to you, but I always like to say the pettier the better, unless there's a real thing you want to talk about. But what is something that either a specific person or just a situation that constantly arises um, that grinds your gears?
See, I came prepared because I knew this question was coming.
I should
Obviously,
ask
I
the Blue's
knew
Clues one.
I didn't know that question was coming if it was a Blue's Clues one. But the people that grind my gears are the people that actually complain in VC. I hate that shit. I hate people complaining out of just for no reason. Um, Especially if it's to the game, like, oh, what the player didn't do this, or the player said this to me. Just shut the fuck up. I don't care. You know, like I don't know. I feel like the VC should just be positive and just have fun and giggle and whatever. But like, what grinds my gear is people being upset and trying to force it onto others, and I don't want that. I don't want that. Yeah, that's what grinds my gears.
So what grinds your gears is literally the whole point of the question, forcing your anger onto others. Got it. Cool. Very
Yes,
meta answer of you.
thank you.
Good answer.
This will be reflected in your botsy next week.
You didn't show up, so
Yeah, I was too busy thinking about life.
there was only me, Azu, and Will this week. All right, no one showed up.
Shibo.
Mm,
At podcast listeners, show up to Teku Cord botsy.
Oh my
Don't
god.
show up.
time to share this Discord. It's time to share this podcast in the Tech Core Discord tomorrow.
Exactly. Everyone share it everywhere. If you see a self-promotion channel, slap the podcast in there.
I'll share it.
I have a bunch of VTuber servers I'm in. I could just put that in those self-promotion channels. I don't think they'd get it, though.
I don't have to get it, you know.
Okay, off topic. We need to drag out this episode because person messaged me saying
Oh
he
my
wants
God.
to hop in, and I want to make him just sit there and
Oh my
wait.
God.
Person's just
That's
waiting,
beautiful.
tapping his foot.
He's just fucking waiting in
Um,
the wings, waiting for that live thing to go away.
What you should do
Wait.
is, we should just keep talking, even though the podcast is over soon. You know,
Yeah.
we should just keep talking after.
Ah,
I just
true.
won't end my screen share, and he will just think we're still going.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
Yeah, but just.
How long is this episode now? 2 hours? What is this?
We're 151 at the moment.
Not quite the record, but close.
Now we're never gonna hit
Okay.
the record again. If we hit the record again, I'm actually gonna kind of be mad at myself.
But
Look, I thought we were gonna be like, all right, an hour 10. I was planning to like be downstairs already.
Hey,
Well, then
That-
we can.
yeah, we can finish it up here.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, no, that's
Bro,
not-
I'm good. I'm good. Let's end it. Let's end it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, so everyone, that will do it for this week's episode of For the Love of Prod. Again, Spooky, thank you so much for joining us this week. It was great to have you on. Mega, Hunter, thank you guys as always for being on as well. And thank you everyone for watching or listening to the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify. We're not on Apple Podcasts because they hate me. But make sure you tune in next week for another great episode of For the Love of Prod as the guest. I don't know. I never know. Like, there's been, I think, 5 times I've known who the podcast guest is going to be. This was episode 52. We'll see you next week for episode 53. Until then, have a good week, everyone. See ya.